The first struggle that I really had to deal with was when my uncle died. He died from cancer, and it was like a prolonged period of 3 years of him always being in pain. That whole emotion of positivity kind of went away when my uncle died. Then I realized I had to go through that to get more positive and to focus more on things I want in life. So I had to go through the hardship to have a very positive future. When my uncle first died, I wasn't ready to understand what happened, so I blocked it off. I was very absent with emotion, so I felt like I didn't want to connect with anything. I just wanted to be reserved or shied off. I wasn't really afraid of pain or fear, but it was more like the emotion of being with my uncle, like the bonding, like knowing who he is. That whole emotion of positivity kind of went away when my uncle died. I didn't want to feel anything, so I was kind of hiding away from the happy because my uncle really reminded me of that, but I also didn't like being sad, so I cut off from being sad, so I just had a very neutral feeling. It was very passive going through life.
Cutting off from our feelings is actually really common in our society, and it's something that not many people realize is a mental health issue. We do this all the time. We watch TV, we go on social media binges, we become addicted to things, we work too hard. We're constantly trying to cut off from our feelings as soon as they become overwhelming. But the problem with this is that when we cut off from our feelings, we're actually cutting off from ourselves. And then we stop knowing what's good for us because we only know what's good for us by the way that it feels.
Yeah, it was like an emptiness, or like there's not much feeling, but when there was something dark, it would like thrill me or I'd get very engaged with it. I felt like my life was a lot more reckless. Like I would do things that weren't like appropriate or good for my future. So I would just not care, do whatever I wanted. I wasn't really responding or respectful to authority. I was just everywhere. I cut off a lot from academics or things that were encouraged by my uncle. So it was like I shied away from anything that related to him. I was very blind to what was going around, like my world, and how I dressed, how I looked, how I took care of things. I was very cut off, very uninformed about how I should be acting. I was just in like a deep state of like, I don't care, I don't care. Like,
it's easy to think that if we just didn't have to feel, life would be easier and nicer. Because in the moment when we're overwhelmed, disconnecting is such a relief. But what Aaron figured out is that when he actually connected to the feelings that he felt when his uncle died, he opened himself up to things he didn't even realize he was blocking himself from. And he gained this whole new level of confidence in his life.
At first, I didn't feel like it was helpful. I felt like, why is this happening? Like, why is my uncle gone? But then I realized I had to go through that to get more positive and to focus more on things I want in life. So I had to go through the hardship to have a very positive future. I started changing from being shut off and very reserved when I noticed my friends would talk about their deep feelings as well. So I felt, oh, we can all share this, like these are close friends, I can share details without being spread or made fun of or anything. So I really connected with the friend group and we all shared deep ideas. After I realized that I needed to start caring about my future, I saw that I would take better care of myself, I would spend more time towards school. I got more invested in business and future financial decisions. I started exercising more, specifically skateboarding or weightlifting. I started making music about a year after my uncle died. So I started a label. I've got distribution deals with iTunes, Spotify, Amazon. I really focused on mixing and mastering. I built a home studio. With making music, I feel like it's very intimate, or like you have to know what you want to put out. If I feel the music isn't connecting with me, I know this isn't right, I have to change it. But once I feel like a beat is really nice, I'll connect with it. I'll feel like, oh, I can put something nice on this and make it sound really good. And I'll feel positive or happy about it. But if it's not working with me, then I'll feel off, or I need to change this and make it what I want. The full range of emotions can change how I make music. So if I'm happy, I'll make something very upbeat and dance vibes. But if I'm sad, I'll make a very slow song or a mellow song to get out my sad emotion so I can feel the emotion through the music. After I started making music and I took it seriously, other people still were laughing at it or not accepting that it was actual music. So I'd get bashed saying like, oh, this is trash, delete this, like you shouldn't make music. But I didn't really care too much what they think. Like the people who really wanted to listen to my music will listen to it. So if you have fans that want to support the music, then I'm gonna keep making music because I want to do that, not because certain people say I shouldn't do it. The hardship with my uncle and learning how to be positive helped ignore all the negative so I could keep positive and stay happy and productive without feeding into any negativity that people were trying to spread on me.